Last week's problem, apparently we made it too easy because everybody got it right. So congrats to everyone. But Roland also left some critiques and comments. So I think he already put the link up actually. So go ahead and watch that. That's going to be helpful just to see, what feedback we have for you. So this week, we're going to take a break from the Blackjack app for this week, and we're going to go back into lead code style questions. We heard from a lot of you that the difficulty is about right, and the time for the most part is about right or could be a little bit longer. So we'll see how you guys respond in this one. I took out some of the survey questions, but if you, I left a comment box, so feel free to leave comments on how it is for you. So this week, the dev challenge is basically your fortune telling friend knows the future price of GameStop. So come up with an algorithm to calculate the maximum profit you can gain by buying low and selling high. So a couple examples here. You have the prices in an array. And so the maximum profit you want to gain is 5 because you can buy on when it's priced at 1 and you can sell it when it's priced at 5. You can't obviously travel back in time, so you can't buy it when it's 1 and sell it when it's 8 on the first day. The stock market unfortunately doesn't work that way. Example 2, because the prices keep decreasing, you want to return 0, so you can't make a profit on that. Okay. We have the main class here for you. Nothing in here. It's a bunch of code. It's all to do for parsing. So all your code is actually, you just need to put it into the max 10ds function. Okay. So don't touch the main function because that's just all for parsing the input. So in the input file here, you can see on each line represents a like a stock trend, essentially. And then on this last one, we have a huge, ridiculously long list. Now we did this on purpose because we are going to be measuring your performance. By performance, what that means is how fast your code runs. Now, this is designed for you to measure yourself. So there's a couple different approaches to this problem. You can, if you think about it, you can, read each element and then do the calculation, or you can do something more clever. So what we're going to do is when you submit, you can tell us the two. We'll just take the total profit, but when we run your code, we're going to run it 3 times, and then we'll take the lowest time. So we don't have a lowest time because it's all ranked relative to how everyone submits. So in the video next week, we can reveal our solution, and that's probably the most optimized, more or less time. But we'll see how you guys do, and then we'll have a discussion about it. Just note that between the way that REPL is set up, the runtime does vary a lot between each run. Like I've seen it go from 6 seconds to 8 seconds on the same code, doing a different run. So I would say don't worry too much about the score necessarily. We'll take the lowest one when we run it a couple of times for you. But yeah, just try to think about how to approach this problem in a more optimized way. There's no tricks to it really. It's really thinking about how you can do the least amount of work, because the more work and the more reads you have to do, or the more, when you're iterating through the array, the more you have to do, the more time it's going to take to do that, right? So yeah, try to approach this problem, analyze it, think about possible ways to speed it up. And the biggest hint is really what's the way to not have to traverse the array too many times.
That's a very good hint.
Yeah, it's not about the internet speed, because so REPL, it's like running in a virtual machine of something like that. So I think the way that they set it up is that it fires up a new a process to run the Java code, right? So it's not about internet speed.
So we're looking for a correct answer, and then we're also looking at the best optimized code.
Yeah, the correct answer, it's pretty straightforward. The run time, it's ranked relative to everyone else. So obviously we can't know how everyone is gonna place ahead of time, but the scores are separate. So if you get 20, in the input class here, there's 20 essentially 20 lines in the input. So you'll have 20 numbers essentially that get added up. Assuming your algorithm works correctly, then that should be pretty straightforward. But the time is the one that will kind of give you that extra edge. The first one, I would buy it at one. You're talking about input.txt. This first line, well, the first line, the max profit you can derive is 1, because 5. So for you read it from left to right, 5, 4, 2, 1, 2, right? So you can't buy high and sell low. You're going to lose money. So you want to buy low and sell it at whatever price is the highest, right? So it's when you buy it at 1 and you sell it at 2, the max profit is 1 on line 1.
Yeah. So hopefully that makes sense, right? So if you bought at 5, there's no way you can make a profit, because the next 4 days is going to be lower than 5. So if you bought at 4, the same thing. You can't sell it at higher than 4, so you won't make a profit. If you bought at 2, which is the third one, the most you can do is break even, sell it at 2 on the last day. So then the only time you can make a profit is if you bought on the 4th day at 1 and you sold it on the last day at 2.
My only hint is, if you want a fast solution, think about how you can reduce the number of reads you need to do across the array. That's it. Yeah, drop questions to me, Wilbur, or Roland, or if you don't want to tip off your competitors, or you can drop it in the DevOps chat. I mean, I don't think it matters too much, but really try to think about the problem without trying to find answers. Yeah.
So Ali is asking, I might have missed it when you said, but it's the input line by line. Yeah, it's line by line, but the code that says do not touch, it'll take care of reading all that.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about the input at all. Whoops, I totally minimized that. So all you need to really worry about is the calculation of which is the maximum profit that you can get, okay? So right now it just returns whatever is the first element in the price.
Yeah. So max attendees will be called
every time for every line.
For each line, that's right.
Yeah, we take care of that for you.
Faisal is asking, what do we return if we lose money? Return -1 or 0?
You return 0 when you can't make a profit. So that's covered in example 2 here. So prices continue decreasing, you just return 0. You can't gain a profit. Yeah.
Yes, no profit equals 0. That's right. So you basically don't purchase, so then you make no profit.
Okay. Well, again, if you have any questions, drop us a private message or drop it in DevAll. Yeah. Good luck.